Hi Aquarius, this is Kacee with your Love Matters reading for November. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shae and I are so grateful to have you all here with us. She'll have a video that's coming up at the end of this one for your sign, so please check for that. She does give a different perspective. The first couple of cards we pull will be for your energy, coming in as Healer of the Ages, and their energy is attachment. Now, that energy that I'm reading on the right, if you resonate more so with that, then please go with that message. This can also indicate a family member, a significant other, relationship with yourself as well in your growth. So let's see what your clarifiers say. Hanged Man in reverse, and the Star in reverse. Okay, so you feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, literally. The energy you're dealing with is really intense right now. They're going through a rough time. Something huge has happened for them, and it's knocked them to their knees. The Star in reverse is saying that they have lost faith, they have lost their shine, they have lost the reason to get up every morning. It's like you're dealing with someone that lost something or someone that was very, very important to them. Something really did shatter them. And you're trying to help. You're trying to be there for them, but it's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place as to what their wants and needs are and what's best for them right now. So let's go ahead and pull some emotion cards. This is very intense energy. Okay, let's get these energy cards for our emotions. Okay, Healing Begins is coming in for you, and they're coming in as win or lose. You know, you have two healing cards on your, you don't know how to get through to this person. You're trying everything you possibly can to help them heal, find that path that they need to be on in order for them to get out of this energy, to kind of heal their soul that has been broken. You know, our hearts get broken, but when we have an event in our lives that our soul breaks, that's huge, and it takes a long time for that energy to heal. Okay, and there's different levels, of course, of the grief process, but this person is very, very lost. It's win or lose at this point. It's basically they don't give a shit. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to take the risks they want to take. They're attaching themselves to things that are not good for them. They could be attached to you, or they're being attached in like an abusive relationship, or they're in a depression and kind of like a bipolar thinking process right now, whether they are or they aren't. You know, just that's their energy. This could be addiction as well. So you're trying to help them heal. You're trying to show them where they're supposed to be going, and they're just lost and they're just floating around doing whatever, and they don't feel like they have anything to live for right now. You know, emotionally, like whatever this is, that's why they're taking all the risks that they are. And I mean, you're really up against a rock and a hard place here. Let's get the obstacles and challenges. Okay. Six of Coins, you giving out generosity, help, anything to balance this out. Nine of Coins in reverse, this is basically not giving of that generosity. King of Swords. At some point, you're going to pull away from this energy, and you're going to make them see things for how it really is. And by cutting them off and being really strict with what you'll put up with, helps the situation. Sometimes when they get in that energy that it's win or lose and they don't really care, and everybody around them is kind of like letting them do it, and when someone stands up to them and be like, you know what, you can't do that around me, so if you want to be friends with me, you want to come over, whatever, you have to abide by these rules. And it actually makes them kind of snap out of it because they don't want to lose you as their relationship. You're very important to them. So they know they have to behave around you. And that actually helps them release some of that negative energy because they have to live in that moment in a positive mindset as much as they can. Here we have the Eight of Cups in the upright, the Star in reverse again, and the Seven of Wands. So that talks about that they're in that fight or flight mode right now, win or lose. You know, they've lost their faith, they've lost their way, so they're going around in all these different directions. It's like they lost their will. Something really came to pass for them and changed them in a way that they became so lost. And at some point you have to stop the generosity, and you have to think about it with your logical mind and your not in your emotion base. You have to remember what's best for them because you've done everything you possibly can. Now it's like you have to do tough love or something and be like, no, I'm not putting up with this nonsense. And until you snap out of it, don't call me. And you're going to be firm with them because they've taken up enough of your time, enough of your energy, enough of your finances, however you're helping them. And you're doing it lovingly and givingly, and you understand why they're in that. But now you are expecting them to start healing, to start changing, and they're not. And everybody has their own grief process, but at some point in that grief, our loved ones need to come to us and let us know when we're acting foolish and when we're it's time to snap out of it, live your life. You have to get through the process. You can't stay in the process. And I think that's what it is they're staying in that healing process way too long because it's comfortable, and they know how to deal with that. When they have to step away from really making a new life different from the one that they just lost, that's really scary. So that can be weighing heavily on them, is they're afraid of the future, and that's why they don't step out of this energy. And they have to realize that the future is a beautiful new beginning. Okay, this sword, win or lose, can go either way. Okay, it can go in the positive or the negative, and they need to make that choice, and they need to find that love of life again, that inspiration, because they're down deep in the negatives. There's no doubt about it. The Eight of Cups can be a very heavy energy emotionally if it's something that's very traumatic. I'm sorry. Patience and planning is coming in. I'm going to pull another one. Oh, I shit you not. Patience. Oh my God, you have to have so much patience in helping them heal. This energy is so in 500 different directions. It's like you're doing everything you possibly can, but you have to be patient. You have to put your foot down. You have to let them know how things are going to be. You kind of like are starting them to demand them to think of things from a different perspective in your own way of healing. It's not like, but you're putting boundaries on this because it's needed. It's not because you're trying to get them to be like, oh, well, just move on. You understand the whole process. That's why you're coming in with Healer of the Ages. Very kind and loving and loyal, but at some point you're like, you really need to move away from this energy. They're coming in with heartache and loss and harmony. So two ways I read this, that's who they lost. They lost their significant other somehow, some way, and that's what tripped them up and put them way deep down in the negative energies and the pain, loss, and grief. But I also see that they're coming out of the heartache and loss into a more harmonic relationship. The harmony that they feel that they have lost, they'll find that balance again. So I read that one of two ways. So it could be a full circle and losing someone and then also gaining someone for this energy. Okay, so I feel like because you're so patient and loving and guiding, I feel very intensely that you're going to help them through this. I don't know if this is a significant other that has lost someone very close to them and you're helping with the healing. but you also put your foot down. I'm going to pull some clarifiers real quick. Five of Wands, conflict, challenges, Queen of Swords in reverse, and the Karma card. So you pretty much pull out of the game and you stop talking to them. There's a huge argument, fight, or struggle of power, and you stop speaking to them. Okay, something comes to light, karma comes to pass. So something comes back full circle. Let's see what we have. Nine of Swords, stressed out about things that are going on. Yeah, Tower card, it all comes crashing down around them. And the Page of Swords coming out swinging, being very defensive. They're not going to like how it's handled, but you have to do what you have to do, and you know that. You know what's the best because you have been patient for so long. You've seen things from every angle. When this comes to pass, this can be something that the Tower card can represent what had happened to throw them in this energy, or because they're in this energy, something else happens and they come out swinging. And they want, they're not happy about how this passed. They've been stressed, they've been fighting the fight. But I feel like something comes to pass, an event happens, they do something, they say something, and they're childish about it. They blow it off. And I think that's when you cut them off and you're like, you know what? You really need to grow up and deal with your own business. And I can't be doing this for you anymore. And I believe that that's where the conflict happens. Okay, let's pull a couple oracles. Fragment. That's interesting because this is being half in and half out of the situation, being like, in the business just enough to know what the daily doings is, but not having an opinion about what's going on. You find out what's going on. People are reporting to you. Yeah, they need to go in the Grove. The Grove talks about going back to basics and really healing from day one. All that stuff from childhood all the way to the current stuff, and not jumping around to certain things as they come, but really dedicating to the healing on all levels. And it always starts on our roots, and it always starts in our childhoods and as we grow up. But we need to look at that particular situation from an adult, and we need to heal it and we need to let it go. So there could be some issues that this person is going through from the past, which is what the Grove can also indicate. What are our angel messages, guys? You guys are amazing. You're such a loving sign, and you're really there for them, but you also know when enough is enough. And when you decide to cut them off, don't feel guilty about it because it's the way it's supposed to be. You have the Karma card, so know that's the way it's supposed to pan out. You're coming in with Astara, and it reads, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and do not compromise. So you know that this is your angel message saying that you are doing the right thing. You go after what you want now. You have helped as much as you can. You've been patient long enough. And when this arises on their end, this is your turn to leave and go do what you need to do. Okay, you've helped them as much as you possibly can. Their angel message is Grace and Antoinette, and it reads, to help heal this situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. Now, this is coming from their side, so I think that that's what they need to come through, is they have to understand why you turn away. And I believe that they will. I believe that this particular situation that they got themselves into really wakes them up and they understand why you cut them off. And I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of hard feelings on their end. They may not speak that they understand, but deep down inside they know why you are blocking them. Okay, and Astara is talking about moving on and doing what you want to do and put yourself first, because you already done everything you can here. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me read for you today. I hope the message helps. I would love it if you left me a comment to let me know how you're doing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We would love to have you back. Take care.